morning. Welcome back to GP Outdoors. Been about 2 weeks, in fact 2 weeks till the day, since I've been up at the cabin. But I've been watching the snow accumulate out there, and they certainly got a whole lot more snow up there than we did down here in the city. We certainly ended up with the high winds, a lot of ice, freezing rain, but very little snow. So, I got her all packed up. I think I got everything in here but the kitchen sink. And yes, I absolutely spent a little time last night cleaning up my chainsaw, sharpening the chain, filling it up with fuel and bar oil, because after the high winds we've had the last couple of weeks, I am pretty much sure that we're going to end up with a few trees down when we get into that driveway. I think there's about a foot of snow up there. So I'm looking forward to firing up that LX 2610 and sinking that blower into the crust. We've got a few stops to make on the way to the cabin this morning. First up is I've got to pick up my ATV from Quinn's Marina. Ted Quinn and his family, great folks here in Georgina. I love them. I've been dealing here for about 9 years. Buy most all of my stuff here. I've had the ATV for about 6 years, and neighbor Guy and myself have been doing the lubrication and the oil changes over the years, but it was having a bit of trouble starting before Christmas. I have a feeling the starter's down for. So I figured it was best just to trailer it in there to get him to do a bumper to bumper on it. It's been 6 years. So we're gonna get that trailered, grab some gas for the truck, a few groceries, and then we're straight to the cabin from there. I'm thinking this guy had a bad day. Oh boy. Looks like Ted's got a few deliveries. Holy Hannah. Those are all sea-doos for the next summer. Boy, oh boy. Look at that. Hoping they'll be able to get my trailer out of the back. They're all blocked. Oh, there we go. A couple ATVs. Boy, this is a dangerous place to be. It's hard to leave here without another brand new piece of something. Oh boy, oh boy. It's like Christmas all over, I think. It's getting cold out. I'm just going to trailer this ATV, but while I'm throwing it on the back of the pickup, I got to show you something. I've never seen this before, but it's pretty cool. Check this out. Take a look at this boat. I've never seen this before. Look at that. It's a sea-doo, or a jet ski powered boat, launched right into the back. Isn't that amazing? And that's how it's propelled and steered. Incredible. So I guess the idea is you drive her out to the middle, folks can sit around and enjoy themselves out in the sun. You can hop on the jet ski, go have a little bit of fun, and then load it back into the back of this boat, strap it down, and drive away. Jeez, what'll they think of next? We're off and running. Got a bit of a drive before we get to fuel, so it's a great time to listen to my favorite firewood podcast. In fact, I understand it's the #1 firewood podcast in the world. I look forward to it every Wednesday. Makes the drive a little quicker.
Dan? Yes. What was that? What the heck was that? Yeah, I think I know where you're going with this. Yeah, that was just the most amazing 3 days of weather I've ever seen. I don't know if I'd use amazing.
Let's go. If you like to snowmobile here in Ontario, you probably know exactly where I am right now. So we're almost there. I wanted to let you know, the initial intent of this video was to do a snowblowing video with the tractor. And when I started out on this little drive up here, well, 3-hour drive up here, I took shots just to kind of provide maybe a 30 or 45 second intro to the snowblowing video. But I realized as I was driving along that I've never shown you the trip up to the cabin. So I thought you might enjoy it today. I also am going to do it the old-fashioned way. There was a period of time between owning pickup trucks where I had a couple of cars. Now, mind you, the last couple were all-wheel drives. But after not being up here in the middle of the winter for 2 weeks, and after the snowstorm we had, that, well, everybody had last week, and the windstorm, I can guarantee you in a car, you'd never make it into the cabin. And this is kind of responsive to a question, or at least a summary of various different questions where people will ask me, generally, if I had to do it over again, would I buy the same kind of property? In other words, would I buy a cottage or a cabin property that was, for lack of better words, a normal property? As in, you know, I'm right off of the concession road, I've got maybe a 50 or 100-foot driveway. It's never an adventure. You drive in, you pull up to your cabin, unload your groceries, and go in. Whereas mine, as you know, is almost a mile through that forest. And honest to goodness, a lot of the drive-ins to this cabin is kind of an adventure. And in the winter, it's definitely an adventure. So we're going to do it the old-fashioned way. I'm going to park the truck in the trailer, get the ATV unloaded, and I'm going to roll in the way I used to for years before I bought this truck. And for you folks that are considering buying a cottage or a cabin property, it's one of the things you have to think about. Because whatever you purchase, there will always be pros and there will be cons. And if you're not the type of person that wants to potentially face an adventure every time you go into your cabin, you probably don't want a property like mine that's kind of buried and remote in the forest. Like I said, it's a gorgeous property. I love that property. Very fortunate I have it. But I think there's a lot of folks that would not enjoy the adventure. They just want to be able to get up, get in, without any incident. For me, I'm still young enough that I enjoy the adventure. So why don't you take it with me? So let's go. Oh boy. Well, big hydro truck. Oh, and another one. And another one. That tells me, guys, power's gone out. And it's probably been out for a while. And I'm already having trouble dragging this trailer up this hill. Let's get the truck parked, unload the ATV, and head into the cabin. Okay, I think we're ready. I just had a quick coffee with neighbor Guy, who of course is always kind enough to let me park in this back woodlot. He says there's no chance I'm going to make it into the cabin. He figures there's going to be at least 2 feet or more of snow in that driveway. But you know me, I'm going to win that bet. Let's go! the adventure begins, right at the gate in the wintertime. I don't know how many different padlocks I've tried. I've tried putting rubber over it, vinyl. They're all supposed to be highly rated winter locks, but they all freeze in this type of weather. And as usual, the old de-icer never works, but I always try it first. I learned long ago to carry a propane torch in the truck with me. That works every time. Jeez, that snow is right up below my knee. I have a feeling Guy might be right. I may not make it through. Works every time. This is why they always tell you to hang your farm gate at least a foot off the ground. We're in. Alrighty, well, little change of plans, my friends. I think what we're going to do, we're going to leave the ATV here, because as you can tell, it's slow moving through all that snow. I'm going to head in on foot for the rest of the way, because I'm only about a third of the way through, maybe a little less than that. So I'm just going to walk it through, get to the cabin, fire up the tractor, and I'm going to have to blow my way back. I imagine I'm going to find some more trees along the way, but we'll find out. And I've got a couple of chainsaws in the cabin, so if I need to, I'll bring one back out with me, and looks like we're in for the day. I told you it's an adventure. Let's go. Oh boy. I know what I'm doing today. Alrighty. And away we go. Now on the pro side of this, it's beautiful here in the wintertime. Assuming you can get in, of course. Oh, there's the next one, right there. So hey, if you ever want a good workout, just go for a mile-long walk in about 1.5 feet of snow, up and down hills. That'll get you. Nothing much here. I don't know if you can see it. There's 3 or 4 piled right there in front of us, right on the slope of the steep hill. And one more time with feeling. I knew it. I should have bet you guys. And alas, there's a sight you want to see. The old maple leaf flying high, welcoming me back. Sanctuary. Whew. Boy, oh boy. That's a lot of snow. All right, see if I can find the stairs. There we go. Whew. Holy man, oh man. Alrighty, well clearly you can tell the warm temperatures yesterday and today, it's turned to packing snow. It's gonna make it a lot harder to blow and a lot slower drive. Whew. So I get the tractor warmed up, change my clothes, grab some chains and my little limbing saw, and let's blow ourselves a path back out to the ATV. Stick around. Exactly what I thought. I'd mentioned to you folks a few times before, when you've got a gravel driveway like this, you need to make sure that the ground is frozen before you drop the blower right down. I kind of assumed it was. I haven't been here for a couple of weeks, and as you can see, we've got a good foot here. And the drifts get right up to my knees in some places, so I'm taking it slow.